the epidemic of unfulfilled potential. Every day, millions of people wake up, go to jobs they hate, return to lives they're not passionate about, and call it responsibility. They're dying slowly, not from a virus, but from a far more insidious disease. The acceptance of mediocrity as a lifestyle choice. Your biggest enemy isn't failure. It's success at things that don't matter. You've been taught to climb ladders without questioning whether they're leaning against the right wall. 100 small victories while committing the ultimate defeat. Surrendering your potential for the sake of predictability. Society calls this maturity. But have you ever wondered, some people can walk into a room and instantly command attention, while others spend their entire lives trying to be heard? Why some individuals seem to magnetize success, while others chase it endlessly without ever catching up? The answer lies not in what you can see, but in something far more powerful, something that's been within you all along. You see, most people live their entire lives never understanding the magnitude of power that resides within them. They wake up every morning, go through their routines, chase their goals, and yet something feels missing. There's an emptiness, a void that no amount of external success seems to fill. And do you know why? Because they're looking for answers in all the wrong places. Let's take you to your core. Everything you've been taught about success, about fulfillment, about purpose, it's all backward. Society has conditioned us to believe that our worth is determined by what we achieve, what we accumulate, what we can show to others. But that's like trying to fill an internal void with external things. You're not here by accident. Your existence isn't some cosmic coincidence. You're not just taking up space on this planet. You are here because there's something within you that the world desperately needs. But here's the tragedy. Most people will live and die never releasing what's inside them. Think about a seed for a moment. When you look at the seed, what do you see? Most people see something small, insignificant, and impressive. But within that tiny seed lies an entire forest. Within that single seed exists the potential to create thousands of trees, millions of fruits, endless possibilities. That seed contains with it something far greater than what appears on the surface. You are that seed. But unlike the seed, which automatically fulfills its purpose when planted in the right conditions, humans have something unique. We have choice. We can choose to remain dormant, or we can choose to grow. We can choose to stay comfortable in our shell, or we can choose to break through and become what we were meant to be. The problem isn't that you don't have potential. You have more potential than you could use in 100 lifetimes. The problem isn't that you don't have opportunities. You're surrounded by opportunities every single day. The problem is that you've been programmed to doubt your own greatness. Look around this room. Every single person here has something unique, something valuable, something the world needs. But most of you are sitting on your gifts. You're waiting for permission to be great. You're waiting for someone to validate your dreams. You're waiting for the perfect moment to start living your purpose. The graveyard is the richest place on earth, because in the graveyard you'll find unwritten books, unsung songs, unlaunched businesses, uncured diseases, dreams that died with the dreamers because they were waiting for the right time, the right circumstances, the right validation. Your life is not about you. Your life is about what you came here to give. Every morning when you wake up, you're either going to be part of the solution or part of the problem. You're either going to contribute to the world or consume from it. You're either going to leave your mark or leave a void. But here's what's holding most of you back. You're more concerned with what people think about you than what God put within you. You're more worried about fitting in than standing out. You're more focused on avoiding failure than achieving greatness. Success isn't about what you get. It's about what you become in the process of pursuing your purpose. It's not about the car you drive, the house you live in, or the clothes you wear. Real success is about becoming everything you were created to be. You see, when you understand who you really are, rejection loses its power over you. When you know what you carry inside, criticism can't stop you. When you care about your purpose, obstacles become opportunities for growth. But most people never discover this truth because they're too busy trying to be someone else. They're too occupied with comparing their lives to others, measuring their worth by other people's standards, living according to other people's expectations. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. It's living life without purpose. It's waking up every morning just to exist rather than to live. It's going through the motions without ever making an impact. It's dying full of potential that was never released. Every time you doubt yourself, every time you shrink back from your potential, every time you choose comfort over growth, you're not just hurting yourself. You're robbing the world of something it desperately needs. Your gifts, your talents, your unique perspective. These weren't given to you for your benefit alone. They were given to you for the benefit of humanity. But let's tell you something that might disturb your comforts. Potential is worthless if it's not converted into performance. Having talent means nothing if you don't develop it. Having dreams means nothing if you don't pursue them. Having purpose means nothing if you don't fulfill it. Look at your hands for a moment. Those hands you're looking at, they're holding something the world needs. Your mind that's processing these words right now, it contains solutions to problems that need to be solved. Your heart that's beating in your chest, it carries passion. But here's the painful truth. Most people will never tap into their full potential because they are waiting for something external to validate their internal worth. They're waiting for circumstances to be perfect before they take action. They're waiting for fear to disappear before they move forward. Let me tell you something about fear. It's not going anywhere. The people you admire, the ones who've achieved great things, they weren't fearless. They were scared just like you. The difference is they didn't let fear make their decisions. They felt the fear and moved forward. Anyway, you see, success doesn't come to those who wait for it. It doesn't come to those who wish for it. It doesn't even come to those who dream about it. Success comes to those who work for it while others are wishing, waiting, and dreaming. But success comes to those who are willing to be uncomfortable while others seek comfort. Most people live their lives in the comfort zone. But nothing great ever came from comfort zones. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. It's where potential goes to rust. It's where purpose goes to sleep. Your comfort zone might feel safe, but it's actually the most dangerous place you can be. Why? Because in your comfort zone, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying. There's no middle ground. You're either expanding or contracting. You're either advancing or retreating. You're either getting better or getting worse. Take hot water for a moment. When water stops flowing, it becomes stagnant. When it becomes stagnant, it starts to stink. The same thing happens to human beings. When we stop growing, when we stop pushing ourselves, when we stop challenging our limitations, we become stagnant. And stagnant people can't fulfill their purpose. But here's what's really holding you back. It's not your circumstances, it's not your background, it's not your education, it's not your resources. What's holding you back is your mindset. You've accepted limitations that don't actually exist. You believe lies about who you are and what you're capable of. The truth is, you don't need more resources. You need more resourcefulness. You don't need more opportunities. You need more optimization of the opportunities you already have. You don't need more time. Every single person who ever achieved anything significant faced obstacles. They faced opposition. They faced criticism. They faced doubt. But they refused to let these things define them. They refused to let temporary circumstances dictate their permanent destiny. You see, your circumstances are not your identity. Your past is not your future. Your current situation is not your final destination. But you have to make a decision. Will you be defined by your conditions, or will you be driven by your conviction? Most people let their conditions determine their actions. They let their feelings dictate their decisions. They let their fears control their choices. But successful people, truly successful people, let their conviction drive their actions. They let their purpose guide their decisions. They let their vision control their choices. It's something that might shake you. Everything you want on the other side of fear, everything you desire is on the other side of comfort. But most people never cross that threshold because they're waiting for fear to disappear, waiting for comfort to come, waiting for success to be easy. But success is never easy. Growth is never comfortable. Achievement is never convenient. The question isn't whether it will be hard. The question is whether it will be worth it. And let me tell you something. Becoming who you were created to be is always worth it. Your life has an expiration date. Your time here is limited. Every day that passes is a day you'll never get back. Every opportunity you let slip away is an opportunity lost forever. Every moment you spend living below your potential is a moment wasted. You see, there's a fundamental difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in something, you do it only when circumstances permit. When you're committed to something, you accept no excuses. Most people are merely interested in success. They're interested in growth. They're interested in fulfilling their purpose. But interest isn't enough. The world doesn't pay you for what you know. It pays you for what you do with what you know. The world doesn't reward your potential. It rewards your performance. The world doesn't care about your intentions. It cares about your actions. Let me tell you something that might make you uncomfortable. Your life right now is the sum total of your choices. Not your circumstances, not your luck, not your background. Every decision you've made, every action you've taken, every opportunity you've either seized or let slip away has led you to this moment. But here's the beautiful thing about choice. You can make a new one right now. You can decide in this moment that your past will no longer determine your future. You can decide right now that your history will no longer control your destiny. You can choose right here, right now, to begin living up to your potential. Most people live life by default instead of by design. They wake up every morning and react to whatever comes their way. They let circumstances dictate their actions. They let other people's agendas determine their priorities. And then they wonder why they're not making progress toward their dreams. Your purpose is too important to be part-time. Your dreams are too valuable to be casual about. Your potential is too precious to be careless with. Either you're in, all the way in, or you're out. There's no middle ground when it comes to purpose. Think of this. Everything in nature fulfills its purpose. The sun doesn't wake up one morning and decide not to shine. The heart doesn't take a day off from beating. The trees don't question whether they should produce oxygen. Everything in nature automatically fulfills its purpose, except humans. But with choice comes responsibility. The responsibility to become everything we were created to be. The responsibility to use every gift, develop every talent, maximize every opportunity. The responsibility to leave this world better than we found it. Most people are more committed to their comfort than their growth. They're more committed to their excuses than their excellence. They're more committed to their fears than their future. But comfort is the enemy of achievement. Excuses are the tools of the incompetent. Fear is the prison of the potential. Your success leaves clues. And one of the biggest clues is this. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. They make sacrifices that unsuccessful people are unwilling to make. They face fears that unsuccessful people are unwilling to face. But here's what most people don't understand about sacrifice. It's not about giving up something for nothing. It's about giving up something good for something better. It's about trading what you want now for what you want most. It's about investing in your future at the expense of your present comfort. Your dreams deserve your best efforts. Your purpose deserves your full commitment. Your potential deserves your complete dedication. Anything less is an insult to your Creator and a disservice to your destiny. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year. They get discouraged because they don't see immediate results. They quit because they don't see instant success. But true success is not about speed. It's about direction. It's not about how fast you're going. It's about whether you're going where you're supposed to go. The problem isn't that you don't have what it takes. You have everything you need right now to begin moving toward your purpose. The problem isn't that you don't have opportunities. The problem is that you've been waiting for something external to change when the change needs to start internally. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice. You can choose to be average, or you can choose to be exceptional. You can choose to live by default, or you can choose to live by design. You can choose to exist, or you can choose to live. The choice is yours. But so are the consequences. And let me tell you something about mediocrity. It's a choice. Nobody drifts into excellence. Nobody stumbles into significance. Nobody accidentally achieves greatness. These things are always the result of conscious choice, deliberate action, and persistent effort. Most people spend more time planning their vacations than planning their lives. They spend more time choosing their clothes than choosing their direction. They spend more time pursuing pleasure than pursuing purpose. And then they wonder why they feel empty, why they feel unfulfilled. Your life is too precious to waste on things that don't matter. Your time is too valuable to spend on activities that don't contribute to your purpose. Your energy is too important to invest in pursuits that don't align with your destiny. But here's what holds most people back. They're waiting for confidence before they take action. They're waiting to feel ready before they start. They're waiting for certainty before they move forward. Let me tell you something. Confidence comes from action, not the other way around. You don't get ready and then take action. Most people live their lives based on how they feel. When they feel motivated, they take action. When they feel confident, they move forward. When they feel secure, they take risks. But successful people live their lives based on their commitments. They take action whether they feel motivated or not. They move forward whether they feel confident or not. They take risks whether they feel secure or not. You see, feelings are important, but they're terrible leaders. They're wonderful servants, but poor masters. If you let your feelings drive your decisions, you never fulfill your purpose. The truth is, you already have everything you need to begin. You already possess everything required to start moving toward your purpose. You already own everything necessary to begin fulfilling your destiny. What you lack isn't resources, it's resourcefulness. What you lack isn't opportunity, it's optimization. What you lack isn't ability. Most people are waiting for perfect conditions before they take action. They're waiting for all the lights to turn green before they start their journey. But life doesn't work that way. You don't get to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the first step and trust that the next step will become clear. Your purpose is bigger than your fears. Your destiny is greater than your doubts. Your potential is more powerful than your past. But you have to make a decision. Will you let your fears control you? Or will you let your purpose drive you? Will you let your doubts define you, or will you let your destiny direct you? Will you let your past limit you, or will you let your potential lead you? Every great achievement in human history began with a decision. Every significant accomplishment started with a choice. Every remarkable success originated with someone deciding that enough was enough. But here's what most people don't understand about decisions. A real decision is measured by the fact that you've taken new action. If there's no action, you haven't truly decided. If there's no change in behavior, you haven't really made a choice. If there's no difference in what you're doing, you're still sitting on the fence. Your potential is like a muscle. It grows when you stretch it. It develops when you challenge it. It expands when you push it beyond its comfort zone. But most people never develop their potential because they're not willing to endure the discomfort of growth. What I'm about to tell you might be the most important message you'll ever hear. The world is full of people living quiet lives of desperation, going through the motions, existing but not truly living. They wake up every morning, follow their routines, and go to bed that night, never realizing that they're slowly dying inside. Not a physical death, but something perhaps even more tragic. The death of their dreams, their potential. Your life is speaking to you right now. That restlessness you feel, that's your potential knocking. That dissatisfaction with the status quo. That's your purpose calling, that burning desire for more. That's your destiny beckoning. But here's the brutal truth. Most people will ignore these signals. They'll dismiss them as unrealistic dreams, impractical wishes, or impossible goals. Every great oak tree started as a tiny acorn that refused to stay in the ground. Every mighty river began as a small stream that refused to stop flowing. Every significant achievement in human history started with someone who refused to accept things as they were. Your greatness lies in your refusal to stay where you are. Listen carefully. Mediocrity is not an accident. Excellence is not a coincidence. Your life moves in the direction of your most dominant thoughts and most consistent actions. If you're not where you want to be, it's because your thoughts and actions haven't aligned with your desires. Most people live their lives by default instead of by design. They let circumstances shape their destiny instead of shaping their circumstances through their decisions. They allow their environment to determine their growth instead of growing to transform their environment. Your potential is not limited by your current circumstances. Your purpose is not confined by your present situation. Your destiny is not bound by your past experiences. But here's the key. You must make a conscious decision to transcend your circumstances, to rise above your situation. Every morning when the sun rises, it doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It doesn't check if everyone approves. It simply does what it was created to do. That's exactly how you should live your life. Stop asking for permission to be great. Stop waiting for perfect conditions to start. Stop seeking approval to fulfill your purpose. The truth about success is that it's messy. It's inconvenient. It's challenging. It demands everything you've got and then asks for more. But here's what most people don't understand. The struggle is not an obstacle to success. The challenges are not blocking your path. They are the path. Your life has an expiration date. Your time here is finite. Your opportunities are limited. But most people live as if they have all the time in the world. They procrastinate on their dreams. They delay their purpose. They postpone their greatness. And then one day they wake up. Don't let that be your story. Don't let procrastination steal your potential. Don't let delay rob you of your destiny. Don't let postponement pilfer your purpose. The time to act is now. The time to move is now. The time to change is now. Your potential is like a seed. It contains everything necessary for success. But it must be planted, nurtured, and developed. It must be given the right conditions to grow. But unlike a seed which will automatically grow when planted, your potential requires your conscious cooperation. It needs your decision. It demands your action. Most people never realize their potential because they're too busy comparing themselves to others. They're too occupied with copying someone else's journey. They're too focused on following someone else's path. But your potential is unique to you. Your purpose is specific to you. Your path is exclusive to you. It's something that might disturb you. Comfort is the enemy of achievement. Security is the opponent of significance. Safety is the adversary of success. Every major breakthrough in your life will require you to leave your comfort zone. Every significant achievement will demand that you take risks. Every remarkable accomplishment will necessitate that you face your fears. Your fears are not walls. They're gateways. Your doubts are not stop signs. They're guidelines. Your uncertainties are not barriers. They're bridges. But you must have the courage to walk through the gates, follow the guidelines, and cross the bridges. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your decisions. The level of your success is determined by the level of your commitment. The extent of your achievement is determined by the extent of your action. But most people make decisions based on their feelings rather than their purpose. Commitments based on their convenience rather than their calling. And actions based on their comfort rather than their potential. Every day, you're either moving toward your potential or away from it. You're either stepping into your purpose or stepping away from it. You're either advancing toward your destiny or retreating from it. There's no standing still. There's no maintaining the status quo. You're either growing or dying, advancing or declining, improving or deteriorating. Your life is too precious to waste on trivial pursuits. Your time is too valuable to spend on meaningless activities. Your energy is too important to invest in purposeless endeavors. Every moment you spend living below your potential is a moment you can never get back. The world needs what you have. Humanity needs what you carry. Society needs what you possess. But they can't access it if you don't release it. They can't benefit from it if you don't develop it. Your potential is not just about you. Your purpose is not just about you. Your destiny is not just about you. It's about the lives you're meant to touch, the people you're meant to influence, the change you're meant to create. Stop waiting for someone to discover you. Stop waiting for someone to validate you. Stop waiting for someone to authorize you. You are already discovered by your Creator. You are already authorized by your potential. Time for playing small is over. The season for holding back is past. The year of living beneath your potential is done. It's time to stand up, step up, and show up in the fullness of who you were created to be. Your future is not determined by your past. Your destiny is not limited by your history. Your potential is not confined by your previous experiences. But you must make a decision. Will you let your past define you, or will you let your purpose drive you? Yours is yours. The time is now. The person is you. Today, the day you stop making excuses and start making progress. Make this moment the time you stop planning and start performing. Make this instant the point where you stop preparing and start producing. Your potential is calling. Your purpose is waiting. Your destiny is beckoning. Answer the call. Accept the challenge. Embrace the journey. The word is waiting for what you have. Humanity is waiting for what you carry. Don't let them wait any longer. Stand up, step up. Your time is now. Future belongs to those who dare to dream it, plan it, and create it. The question isn't whether you can. You can. The question isn't whether you should. You should. Will you step into your greatness? Will you embrace your purpose? Will you fulfill your potential? The answer to these questions will determine the story of your life. Make it a story worth telling. Make it a life worth living. Make it a journey worth taking. The time is now. The person is you. The choice is yours. What's your answer going to be?